Oh boy, here we go. Nothing worse than a triple box with these guys. Look at Jack Black in the middle there. I love it.
Let's go. Triple box.
All right, we got Cory Dickman back here. Cory, I know you're here to pound your chest a little bit.
A little bit.
So let's go. You want to get up? Let's get to it. Last week's picks and results.
Ooh.
I mean, that's pretty good. But the mortgage was lost.
Hey, Pete, who did you lose an important team in the tournament?
Yeah, I lost St. John's.
Oh,
I did.
So sorry.
But I do have other brackets. This is kind of a promiscuous thing to do, but I have other brackets where I don't have St. John's in the Final Four, so I'm still really intact with somebody else.
All right. Good.
All right, so let's get to you want to get to this week's picks? I mean, we might as well, because Cory, once he gets going and he's out of the gate, we got to kind of wrangle him.
You got to wrangle. Let's just dive. Where do we jump in? Am I going first, Scotty?
Yeah, you're first. Yeah.
I'm first. Okay. Okay, really quick. Riverton, Utah. You ever heard of it?
No, I
never heard of it. I actually lived in Riverton, Utah. After grad school, I moved in with my parents. Long story. But we were in Utah. You know who else is from Riverton, Utah? Richie Saunders, who is going to light it up for BYU in the Sweet 16 matchup. Richie's going to go wild in this game, Pete. BYU is a plus 4.5. They're laying points against Alabama. Alabama's look shaky against in their first two round games. BYU comes in. They're going to win the game, but we're going to take the plus 4.5 just for the sake of our record here. Richie Saunders, Alabama, they don't play defense, Pete. They don't play defense. BYU doesn't really either, but it's okay. They're going to come on top of this game. And an extra little tidbit, and I didn't send this to Scotty, so it's not Scotty's fault. I take the over here. The over is 175.5 points. Both these teams are going to score 85 or more. They're going to go wild in points. I would go over 175.5 as well.
All right, so I like the over as well. That's nice.
I would hit BYU 4.5 and then over. Second game, this one I'm shaky on, but I think the Duke Blue Devils are going to be in a close game here against Arizona. One thing here, so Pete and Scotty, if I were, let's say, in a league with a bunch of third graders, let's say Cory and third graders, would I average like 100 points a game?
I would hope so.
I probably would.
I don't know that you're in good enough shape. But
you don't think I can keep up and down the court?
You got to go up and down.
I think I'd be like Shaq, though. I would just be all over this.
You'd be boxing out a bunch of 9-year-olds.
I'd be boxing out a bunch of 9-year-olds. Yeah. This is similar when we look at look at Duke. They're killing everybody. You know what their net rating was? Strength of schedule 60. They didn't play anybody. It'd be like me playing third graders. Arizona is 8th. They had to go through the Big 12. They've had tough matchups. And Caleb Love, he's going to have one more really good game, and it's going to be against Duke. Plus 8.5 Arizona Wildcats. They're going to hang with them. I don't know if they're going to win, but they're going to hang with them.
I like that pick, by the way.
They're going to hang. Yeah. I know Duke went all over our Baylor Bears, and, that's fine. It's okay. We don't want to talk about it. But I think Arizona keeps this close, and Caleb Love keeps it close.
I like that pick a lot. I like Arizona a lot. I actually have them in that bracket I have them beating Duke. So go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. And then final one, riding the team that I think is going to win the whole tournament, not Purdue, Houston, not Arizona. Houston Cougars, minus 7.5. They got to win this game by 8 points. But Houston, offensively, defensively, they're a great team all around. Purdue, they're happy to be here, okay? They'll be close. Like all these Sweet 16 games are probably going to be close, but they will falter down the stretch. Our boy, who did I say? My mother-in-law, Sharp, all the way. She was riding him. They're going to win this game by 13 points. Houston wins by 13.
I look. I hope you're right. I worry sometimes that Houston plays. They can drag you to the mud a little bit. So I have a little bit of fear around that. But look. You look at how badly they beat you. You called that first game. That was one of your victories.
Yeah.
Houston won by 100 in that first round game. So why not ride them? I like that.
I just think when a team is really balanced, especially towards the end of a game, they'll get those cheap stops. They'll hit their free throws, and a 4 or 5 point game turns into an 8 or 9 point game, and they're going to cover. It might be a back end cover, but they're going to cover.
Now, do you have a mortgage bet?
Mike? Yeah. Okay. Mike Nelson said this week he wasn't sure. He was questioning me a little bit. So I didn't have a mortgage bet, but if I'm going to pick a really off the top of my head, let's do this. Let's go Houston. Remember it's 5 point tees. So let's take Houston down to -2.5. Okay. And then the over under we talked about for BYU Alabama, we tease that 5 points. So that would be 170.5 points. So we tease that down. That's the mortgage bet for efficient lending. Mike Nelson, we're going to get your money back this week. We get your money back.
Yeah, but the thing about Mike is his name and his company is being mentioned in a block where we just went 8-2. Let me do the math.
11-4.
11-4 overall
last week.
I mean, I think we did pretty good. Thanks to you guys.
No, for sure.
One game above 500.
Scotty killed it. Hey, Pete, you were above 500.
I was.
You're at that 66% win rate, which is what you need to, make sure you stay in Vegas. So you're fine.
All right, Scotty, you do your picks. I'm pulling up special odds here. I got. Go ahead.
Okay, my picks. Here we go. Here's one that I found really interesting, and I didn't want to touch this game, and then I really did. So Kentucky, the 3 seed, has already defeated Tennessee twice this season, the 2 seed. Previously in conference play. I looked it up. When a team wins twice in the regular season over another team, they have a 70% chance, give or take, to win the 3rd game in the postseason as well. However, in both of those games, Kentucky shot over 50% from beyond the arc, and Tennessee shot below 25% from beyond the arc. There's no way that happens again. I'm hitting Tennessee. I think Tennessee moves on, beats Kentucky here. I think this is a really good play.
Scotty, I hopefully Iron Eagle's microphone will be better than yours because we're still crackling over that.
Well, we'll keep bothering Zach and Mike Hamilton about it.
Maybe that's a sponsor, like Crackle Pop. Isn't that a cereal or something?
Yeah. Scotty's Snap Crackle Pop.
There we go. And Scotty, when you celebrate, you do the snapping thing too. So it's Scotty's Snap Crackle Pop.
Scotty's Snap Crackle Pop about this moment. Okay. I'm gonna just face off against Cory here because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm talking with my heart a little bit. Okay. But coming into this tournament, Arizona was the Big 12 team I probably believed in, maybe the least outside of Baylor as far as ability to make a run. I think this is as far as they get. I think Duke beating Baylor by over 20 said something to me, and I really think Duke's going to win this game by double digits. So I would take Duke in this one. It would not surprise me if Duke wins this game by 12. Like that feels about right in this one. And then, again, going with my heart a little bit, all due respect to John Calipari. He's a great coach, but he is not Grant McCasland, and he does not have JT Toppin on his team. I think the Red Raiders can get a double-digit victory here as well. I think this is as far as Arkansas gets. I think Sweet 16, by the way, is like a really good first season for Coach Cal. I think this Texas Tech team is potentially Final Four fated. I'm taking them here over the Razorbacks. So those are my 3 picks: Tennessee, Duke, and Texas Tech.
So you are going head to head with Cory. Okay. On that one, I like your
pick, Scotty.
Yeah, those are good. I want to say if you take the alt spread, Texas Tech -12.5, or -9.5, plus 152. That's good odds right there. I think we hit that. Good. -9.5 Texas Tech. I like that, Scotty.
Cory's proud.
I think the Duke one, I'm scared. I'm scared. I wouldn't put the mortgage on that one. It could easily be Duke by 25. But I
Cory
think
give you
they'll
the
keep
head
it close.
nod, Scotty, of approval that you're gambling. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like what a bad influence, right? I like that. Yeah. I had a boss once who took me to a strip club, and he said, "Yeah, it was good for Pete. You know, I got him out there." My coworkers were like, "What, dude?"
This was a long time ago, right? This wasn't
we were
recent.
In the 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't you.
Yeah, this
Cory
wasn't while you were at
Dickman
Rogue.
has never done
I
such
was
a thing.
in my 20s. Okay. Couple things I want to throw at you before my picks. Just a couple of gambling things while we're in the mood. Long shot odds for the title. I just want to go over a couple of them. Okay. To make the Final Four, Arkansas is plus 750. To win the national championship, they're 75-1. Like, I do want to put into context, like, Arkansas is from it's an SEC team. They have an amazing coach who's done this before. It's not 75-1 crazy that they win the national championship. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's amazing odds for a team. This is not George Mason.
Dude, that's worth $15.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think I'd put a lot of money on that, but that's worth $15.
Yeah,
100%.
I think that's interesting. Because think about it. If Arkansas and Texas Tech are playing, like, you feel pretty good about Texas Tech winning that game. But at the same time, like, you could see Arkansas winning it. And, like, that's all it takes. Like, one of those, you got 4 more of those, really, right? And I don't know. I just feel right now like that's something to keep an eye on. All right, let's go to my picks. All right, now that we've kept an eye on that. Okay. We're going to start off with the last game of the Sweet 16. There it is. Oh, no, that's not it, but we'll start off there. Okay. Texas Tech and Arkansas. I like Texas Tech. I really do. I think Texas Tech has something special going this year. Again, Arkansas 75-1. Is it worth taking a flyer on them to win the championship? I think so. Plus 750 to make the Final Four. Like, sure, I think so. But as far as winning on Thursday night, I love Texas Tech to beat Arkansas, and I love them to cover the spread. I think they win by 8 points. Next pick. Let's bring it up, Scotty. Florida and Maryland. I think this is like a lot easier than people think. I think Florida is going to beat Maryland like a drum. You heard me? That is my lock. I think they're going to beat Maryland like a drum. I think they're pretenders. I think Florida was awoken out of their slumber, probably receiving one of the best tests they're going to get in the tournament against UConn. And I think, like, after a win like that against against a back-to-back champion, you're feeling that esteem, right? So now they're operating with confidence. Like, we have taken the belt from UConn. Now you take it from us. All right, here's my last pick. I think I made a pretty good case for that one. BYU, baby. That's easy. That's easy. I got BYU over Alabama. I feel like what's Kevin Durant's Twitter handle? Easy money sniper, baby. Easy money.
Richie
right
Saunders.
there.
Richie.
Yeah, I really do. I feel like BYU is the best kept secret right now in college basketball, and they're about to be no longer a secret after this weekend. They're the first game on Thursday, so be ready. I mean, get your champagne ready early, Cory, because that game's going to be over by 8:00 your time.
So over under 2.5, the teams from the Big 12 to make the Elite Eight. You're going over? Over under 2.5.
Is that a real bet?
No, I'm making it up right now. I'm making it up. Because you got Houston, BYU, Arizona Tech. 3 of those 4 have to make it. Would you go over?
Under.
I
almost, just to like make this fun, took Alabama. I don't get the BYU over Alabama picks. What? I don't.
Okay.
I'm not so convicted that I picked it like as one of my picks. I'm more convicted in some other stuff.
Yeah.
But it would not surprise me if Alabama runs them out of the building either.
Okay.
I think Tech and Houston I believe in a lot.
Yeah.
There's no question that BYU can lose that game, but they're as hot a team as there is in the tournament right now. I mean, they really are. And I think the Big 12, and I don't care. I may sound like a homer at this point, but like they have very much left their footprint on the first and second rounds, and I think that they're about to do it on the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. I think it's become very clear. I'm not here to say the SEC was overrated, but I think the Big 12 has shown that they can stand toe-to-toe with this conference.
Well, and if you look at, like, if Iowa State was healthy, I think they beat Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And so then now you have 6 from the SEC, 5 from the Big 12. That's a lot closer than 4 and 7. And that's just that one
especially
game.
when you consider how many got in.
Yeah.
It was what, 14 to
14
7?
got in. 14 got in.
But how many from the Big 12? 8?
I think 7.
7.
7?
Got in. Yeah. And West
So the
Virginia
3 that didn't make it to the Sweet 16 was Baylor,
Kansas.
Iowa State,
Kansas.
and
Yeah.
Kansas.
Kansas lost in the
And
first
Iowa
round.
State should have made it, but whatever. They had an injury.
Yeah. All right. Hey, can I say one thing from last week? Because I made this pick, and then I listened to the show the next day, and Pete was like, "Oh, Kentucky's gonna roll Troy." You know, that game was very close.
But
okay.
you were wrong.
Well, no, but what are you talking about? It was Troy. Do you know what the score was, Pete? At the hold on, I just had this pulled
Cory,
up.
you said they were going to win outright.
I just had this pulled up. At the
I think I forgot
hold on. With 13 minutes to go, Troy's down 6. They could have easily gone on a run and win that game. Kentucky got lucky.
Did Troy cover the spread? Yes. They did.
I would just like to say the 2 biggest bracket busters over the weekend were McNeese and New Mexico, and I picked them both on this show last week.
No, that was excellent work. That was Scotty. Yeah, the
That was.
McNeese call was very good. It's like you were seeing the future.
I was with you, Scotty, on McNeese, and then I heard the morning of the tournament their coach was leaving. He literally took another job, and I was like, they're not going to play for him now. There's no way. Well,
They did,
had
and that was amazing what Will Wade was able to do. I think that shows the new era we're in. He was totally transparent. I'm taking another job. I want to be honest with you guys. You guys play well today. You can get yourself another job somewhere, making more money. It's the new frontier, Dickman. Right?
maybe you're right. Maybe he said, "Look, guys, we win this game. I'm taking 3 of you with me. All you getting 300,000." Maybe that's what it was.
By the way, did you see the kid from West Virginia, Emmett Matthews? He was on their team a few years ago. He said, McNeese equipment guy, McNeese manager got more NIL than I did. LOL. It's true.
It's so fast.
$100,000 deal.
How quickly he was on commercials, like the next day was doing ad reads.
The Insomnia Cookies one he did. They did like a whole ad. It was like legit. It was like very well done. Yeah.
My favorite moment though from the last day of the tournament, the Maryland game, when Queen hits that game-winning floater. When they asked him like, "You play for it?" He's like, "Well, he pays us. You know, he pays us. He writes our checks for their coach." It's like, okay. We in a different time.
Look, it is a great time of the year, and it's a different time. Anything else?
That's it, man.
Efficient lending.
Efficient lending. Mike Nelson. Give him a call.
Thank you very much. And Mike has all the – I mean, you want to talk about information. Go ahead. Check it out. He's got a YouTube page. He has a podcast. Mike's the man. All right, we're going to step aside. Come back. You've got our picks. We'll be accountable. We'll revisit them next week before we get into our Final Four stuff. This is the Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovakia.